What up, mathletes? Whoop! Let's do this. All right, this is our Math 2 pretest 1. So, buckle up, buttercups. It's going to get awesome. For each part below, use the figure to fill in the blank. If necessary, you may learn what the markings on the figure indicate. Okay, let's see what that means. So if I'm looking at this, find the measure of angle M. So I need to know, what is that angle right there? Well, you may look at this and be like, hey, they didn't give us any numbers, but here's what they did tell us. Each of these sides is congruent, which means this is equilateral. If it's equilateral, it's also congruent angles. All three angles are going to be congruent. They just have to be. So since all the angles in a triangle add up to 180, let's divide that by 3, which equals 60. So the measure of angle M is the same as the measure of every other angle, which is 60 degrees. Okay? That works for all equilateral triangles. All right, find the measure of angle Q. Okay, well, if this is 8 and this side, so side RQ is 8, side RS is 8, which means this is isosceles. It's isosceles, here's what I know. I know that those two angles, angle Q and angle S, are going to be congruent, which means if angle R is 30 degrees, I can say, all right, 180 minus 30 equals 150. And then let's divide that by 2, which equals 75 degrees. And I divided it by 2 because I know these both are equal. So we're just going to cut it in half so we know what they each are. And there, each measure of angle Q is 75 degrees. So is the measure of angle S. Sorry for that loud noise out there. But I'm grateful for the hard work being done. It's feeling good. All right. For problem number 2. Find the value of x. If necessary, you may learn what the markings on. Okay, so we're going to find x. All right, so again, I know this is isosceles. I'm just going to look at this triangle right here, okay? I know this is isosceles, which means this must be 75 degrees as well. And if I add those together, I get 150, which 180 minus 150 is 30. Okay, so then I know this is 30. But I also know this entire angle is a right triangle, correct? And if that's true, that's 90 degrees. So to find out this angle right here, I'm going to have 90 minus 30, which equals 60 degrees. So now I have 60 degrees. Okay, here's what's cool about this. I'm told again, now let's just look at this triangle. That's isosceles. This is 60. What do I know? I know that angle X is equal to this angle over here, right? Yeah, angle X, whatever. So I'm going to take 180 minus 60, and I'm left with 120. And again, because these two angles are equal, because this is an isosceles triangle, I'm going to divide by 2, which equals 60 degrees. So I know that X equals 60 degrees. Something else I know, because this is 60, and this is 60, and this is 60, guess what I also know? I know that this is equilateral. Oh, cool, thanks. Awesome. This is my answer. I should probably square these off too. I like squaring off answers, it tells me where they are. If you would do that, that'd be grand. Okay, suppose triangle EFG is isosceles. Sweet. With base GE. Okay. We want to know what the base is because that tells us which angles are equal. It's the angles adjacent to the base. Suppose also that the measure of angle F equals 4x plus 48 degrees and the measure of angle G equals 5x plus 31. Well, G equals that. Guess what? Since it's isosceles, I know that angle E equals the same thing. And I know that all the angles in the triangle add up to what? 180? So here's what I can do. Watch this. Watch this little math voodoo. It's going to be amazing. I'm going to say, okay, 4x plus 48 plus, and then remember I have 2 of these. So I can either write 5x plus 31 plus 5x plus 31, or I can write plus 2 times 5x plus 31. Because both angles equal that, correct? Equals 180. Awesome. I'm going to distribute that. And I get 4x plus 48 plus 10x plus 62. And let's go ahead and combine like terms. I can combine my 4x and my plus 10x, right? It's going to give me 14x. That should be equal to 8. And my 48. So that's gone. My 48 plus 62. I mean plus 110. It's 180. Right, and then we just go from there. Subtract 110 from both sides. 14x equals 70. Awesome. I'm going to divide both sides by 14. And 14 goes in there once, goes in there 5 times. So I get that x equals 5. Am I done? Nope. I want to find out. Find the degree measure of each angle of the triangle. Okay. So I need to plug in my x. Alright, so for angle F, measure of angle F, it's going to be 4 times 5 plus 48, which is what? 20 plus 48, or 68. Boom, that's the measure of angle F. Measure of angle G is going to be 5 times 5 plus 31, which is 25 plus 31, or 56 degrees. I'm just curious, if that's 56, measure of angle E has to be 56. So just to check our answer, I'm going to do 56 plus 56 plus 68. Alright. So 12, 2, 5 plus 5 is 10, plus 12, plus 6 is 18. Alright, 180 degrees, look at that. Really harder, but longer. For the following right triangle, find the side length x, round your answer to the nearest hundredth. Calculator on this one. So, what do we have right here? We have C. I know this is C because remember, the hypotenuse is always opposite of my right angle, right? So I should have x squared plus 6 squared equals 7 squared, right? I can subtract 6 squared over. So I'm going to get x squared equals, what's that, 49? Minus 6 times 6 is 36. So I get x squared equals, I don't know, what's 49 minus 36? 13. Then I'm going to take the square root of both sides because the square root undoes a square, and I'm left with x is approximately, it says to round to the nearest hundredth. So remember, we do this on a calculator like this. Got to hit second function. See, right above the x squared is the square root. It's the second function. That's going to give me that, and then 13. All right. So if I go out to the nearest hundredths, right before it is a 5, so that's going to round to 1. I'll get 3.61. It's approximately 3.61. Boom. And then to determine whether it's right triangle, remember the longest leg is always going to be the hypotenuse, and we're just going to do a squared plus b squared equals c squared and see if it's true. So I'm just going to circle the longest leg on each one so I know. Oh, look at that, it's in order. So it's either a right triangle, not a right triangle, or not enough information. Well, all of these have 3 legs, so we have plenty of information.